What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and I hope you like the extended intro. But I won't be using it every time because it does run a little bit too long. This is a brand new episode of the Adamantium process. And as you can see, we have reached the Adamantium League. I have to admit it's been a pretty difficult season, and that's due to all the offline or defensive battles I've had to face. And in a moment I'll give you an idea of just how many offline battles I've had already. As far as my defensive team, I had some early success with Phoenix and Rescue, but then it started to lose a lot, so I tried different characters, and more recently I haven't had a lot of success. There you can see I had 728 wins and only 155 attacks, and I was winning about 50% of my defensive battles early on. So just go ahead and add another 700 losses, and you see just how many defensive battles I've had this season. It was extremely frustrating. But now that I've reached level 300, I'm seeing a slowing down. And then on offense, I've been switching characters. I kinda settled on Blue Costume Generalist Quicksilver and P5 Tactician Phoenix. This team has been winning quite a few battles so far. And right here you can see we're facing a Kitty Pryde and Phoenix team. And all of these opponents are in the Vibranium or Adamantium League. In fact, most of them are in the Adamantium League. And some of them are even rated higher. But with that being said, you're going to be pretty shocked by the amount of damage that gets done. I know I was. And due to that fact, we're going to have quite a few battles in this episode, because they don't last very long at all. So far we've already caused their Phoenix to use Death and Rebirth, and now our Phoenix is going to go ahead and target their Kitty Pryde. And that's because we want to put Migraine on her, and hopefully soften her attack. So let's go ahead and hit her. Now that Kitty has Migraine, she should do less damage, but she did proc Fires of Truth, and she went ahead and used Lockheed on my Phoenix. On my agent's turn, we're going to use the Scroll, and remove Strike from the Shadows. Then we're going to use the Restored Lewis machine gun, and that should finish off Phoenix and their agent. So now we're just down to Kitty Pryde, who is phased, so let's see what we're going to do. Now, as you saw, Quicksilver procced Fires of Truth, so even though Kitty Pryde is phased, we can hit her right through it. And Quicksilver easily finishes her off. So that's the end of the first battle already. Now on to our next opponent, and we decided to switch teams. In fact, we're going to switch teams throughout this episode. So for this battle, we're going to use Captain Britain and Havoc, one of our favorite team-ups. Their agent is a scrapper, so that's going to make Captain Britain enraged. And then they're going to fire the Trigger Man a second time, which is going to double enrage him. So he's going to do amazing damage on this first hit. So since we're going to do so much damage, and we have Havoc and our agent going before Phoenix, we're going to try to finish her off. So check out this first turn damage from Captain Britain. Through Phoenix's shield. We do tons of damage, and she has to proc Death and Rebirth. Now we're expecting Rescue to go ahead and heal Phoenix a little bit and place a shield on her. But with both Havoc and my agent going, we should be able to take her out before she does a Phoenix Fire. The only problem my team may face is the fact that they have two Tacticians. They have Rescue and their Phoenix is a Tactician. And we do have a Blaster in Havoc. Luckily, Havoc is one of the few blasters we like to use. And that's because of his level 6 ability, which will place Exhausted on everyone. But instead, we just threw all that out and we decided to go ahead and try the one-shot rescue. So that's what we actually go to do here. Then we're going to rely on the fact that our agent should be able to take out Phoenix. If not, we may have made a pretty big mistake. Here's a Plasma Wave on Rescue. And that doesn't finish her, so at this point, I was kind of bummed out. But we're going to go ahead and use the Scroll of Angelob. Then we're going to use all our other quick action items. And with this team, you could use something besides the Neurotrope or besides the Shepherd's Staff. Or even take out the Scroll if you felt confident enough. In the place of one of these items, you could use something like the Enchanted Crowbar or Chakra Strike. And those items would help out Havoc and Captain Britain with Paragon Exploiter. So you'd put more debuffs on quickly, and then they'd be able to hit someone even harder. And with our agent, we were able to take out Phoenix with the Warbringer axe. Otherwise, we would have gotten hit with a Phoenix Fire, and it could have changed things in this battle. I kind of doubt it would have been powerful enough, but you never know. It really can be a game changer. Their Scrapper agent once again hits Captain Britain. I'm really not sure why the AI does this, but we did have a counterattack from the Neurotrope, so Captain Britain takes out their agent easily. Then he does a 71,000 damage Britannic to rescue, and that'll be the match. Since that match was pretty quick, we decided to do another battle. And this is against a really tough opponent that had a ton of armory rating, especially in attack. I believe he had at least 160k offense. So we were definitely worried about Iron Patriot. And we figured he may be using the restored Lewis, so you have to really stay on your toes. For the beginning of this fight, we were really hoping that we got Havoc a turn. That way he could use his level 6 and exhaust this entire team. Since he didn't show up on the turn order, all we can hope for is an uncanny coordination. So that's what we were thinking the whole time, please get that. And that's because we really needed to exhaust their Tactician Patriot and Phoenix, because we have a blaster, and also because their quick action abilities that they always cast will then make them have to pass their turn. So if Patriot does a full overcharge, he won't be able to attack on the same turn, and if Phoenix uses Mind Link, she won't be able to attack. Otherwise, they'd be getting extra turns against Havoc, and they'd be unleashing. So it all comes down to whether or not we get uncanny coordination. And literally, all of this was running through my mind at the time. But we go ahead and we hit Iron Patriot, and we do gain uncanny coordination. And I was so relieved. This guy had such a massive attack bonus that we may have been in big trouble if we didn't get this. Instead, we use Plasma Spheres, and we exhaust all 3 of their characters. So this is how one proc can completely change an entire battle. It's going to be Phoenix's turn coming up. And she does use Telekinesis, but the good part is that'll be the end of her turn, and Captain Britain is not stunned. Iron Patriot then uses his full overcharge, and he has to pass. Likewise, their agent uses Neurotrope, and that'll be the end of his turn. On Havoc's turn, we can use his level 9, and then his big hit level 2 Plasma Blast on that Bruiser agent. And since we're a blaster, we're expecting some major damage. A few thoughts do run through our mind though, and that's that we could use his level 6 and finish Iron Patriot and do damage to everyone else, or we could attack Phoenix and see how much damage we could do on her. So we're looking at their agent and we decide to go ahead and hit him. It does 143,000 damage. Now with Captain Britain, we're a little bit worried about Phoenix, because at this point we think she may get a turn, and she may get to cast Phoenix Fire. And one of the reasons for that fear is because our agent used the Shepherd's Staff. So we have to do some major damage with Captain Britain. And then we start the long debate, so whenever I take a while to do a move like this, that just means the wheels are turning in my brain. Usually I make really quick actions and really quick decisions, but we kept wondering whether or not we would live through a Phoenix Fire if we didn't finish that Phoenix. After weighing the options, we decide we should go ahead and finish their agent. And then you see Uncanny Coordination pop up on Havoc, and that's when I knew I had the battle in hand. So let's go ahead and knock Phoenix down at least 50%, then Havoc should be able to finish her. We launch his level 9 Britannic, and it does almost everything needed to take her out. So now on Havoc's turn, we can use his AoE level 6 and finish both Iron Patriot and Phoenix. So that's what we do. Here goes Plasma Spheres. That will finish them, and that's going to win this pretty tough battle. So now it's time to switch to our third and final team of the video, the Juggernaut and Tactician Grey Suit Black Widow. And we're facing a Quicksilver and Phoenix team. Their Quicksilver is going to start out by hitting our agent. He is a generalist, so he's not going to get a second attack, but he also won't enrage Juggernaut. Then he does a move that really bothers me, and that's a first turn Vortex Lariat. We're just hoping that he doesn't stun anyone. Doesn't look like he got any stuns, and also he caused Black Widow the counterattack. So that's a pretty good exchange. At least for me it is. Now we're going to use the scroll right away. And that wasn't really necessary, but we plan on using the Shepherd Staff, so it's not like we'd get to use it next turn. So we're going to use it now, and then we're going to use our other quick action items. Also, Quicksilver's probably going to hit us with a blast from the past, so it looks like the Neurotrope gave us some pretty good buffs on Juggernaut. And I want to tell you, if you don't have the Neurotrope, go ahead and use something like Girl's Best Friend. And the reason I recommend this is because it's going to give you Strengthen. So a big bonus to attack, guaranteed, and you can spam it, so if it gets removed, you can just go ahead and use it next turn, and your entire team gets strengthened once again. Now here's something stupid that I noticed that the AI does with Phoenix. She uses telekinesis on Juggernaut all the time, and he of course is immune to stun, so that's a waste. And in this case he also got to attack her, and that's because of the Neurotrope. With Black Widow we really want to hit their agent, but we almost forgot that they have a blaster, so we go ahead and hit her, and we gain tactical maneuvers. So then we're able to take out their agent as well. And this massive damage was kind of unexpected, because once again this opponent was rated higher than me at the time. But it looks like it's going to be another really quick match, and Juggernaut finishes with 105,000 damage from a Sunday Punch. This battle against an insane opponent is going to be the last one of the video. And this guy, as you can see, has Elektra, and she's at least a level 9, if not a level 12 already. He also has a 54,000 health agent, and the most incredible bonuses possible in his armory, as well as from heroes. So we really have our work cut out for us in this one. But we started out with a flying kick from Black Widow on their agent. Next we're going to use the Surge of Sidorak, and then we're going to use the Sunday Punch. We're going to use that on the agent as well. And basically what we were trying to do is stun their agent. And that's because he has the Restored Lewis gun and we didn't want to get shell-shocked. I'm really not sure why Black Widow didn't stun, and I hope that she isn't bugged again. I thought that she was fixed. But at least Phoenix wasted telekinesis on Juggernaut once again. So that does help. So their agent uses the Neurotrope, and then he does have the Lewis equipped, and we're not sure what else. There goes the Restored Lewis automatic machine gun. It does some massive damage to my entire team. It even finishes Juggernaut. And then we have Shell-Shocked, and Shell-Shocked really hurts Black Widow, because when she does her counterattack, she takes 2 applications of it right away. She does manage to knock out their agent, but he's brought back by Death and Rebirth. So on my agent's turn, we're going to use all our quick action items, starting with the scroll. Then next we're going to use the Neurotrope. Then we're hoping for as big a heal as possible from the Shepherd Staff. We're pretty worried about Elektra, and we think she's going to use her AoE that causes internal bleeding on everyone. But obviously we're not too familiar with her, since we've never seen her in action until this battle. The Shepherd Staff does do a pretty decent heal on us, and at least gives Black Widow some health back. With my agent, we're going to finish their agent. So we take him out so he can't use that Restored Lewis again. Just like I figured, Elektra does hit both of my characters with Rain of Blood. So we have internal bleeding, as well as some other pretty nasty debuffs. On Black Widow's turn, we're going to do her major damage ability, Flying Kick, on Phoenix. It does 73,000 damage and finishes her. Black Widow is doing some amazing damage. And then she takes Elektra down too. So we were able to beat a pretty much impossible opponent. And this is the rating that we finished at. But then we did end up getting a CVE and we dropped a .28, and that's when we logged off. Well, that's going to be it for episode 17 of the Adamantium process. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. I want to thank you for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos.